So we have with us, we have Cheryl Grossman, she's terrific. Cheryl, wave your hand so they can see you. We have Kevin Bacon. Kevin's involved in many, many things. We've got Jimmy Hughes here, who's of course important and push for this, and Jeff McLean, who's chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, and I've got a lot of business before his committee. Is there anything I can do for you today, Jeff? So, first of all, Mayor, you know, I met Bono back in, I don't know when it was, 1999, and we worked together on aid to Africa. And I told Bono when we were going through this whole process, do not try to stereotype Republicans or Democrats. And when you're involved in fighting poverty, do not pick one party over another. You do that, and it will be at your risk. Because no matter which party you're in, we have to get to the hearts of the people who are representatives and make a case to them about what's going on. What the mayor has done in terms of investing in this neighborhood is fantastic. And we're glad to be just a part of being able to top this project off, and we believe in this project. So when it comes to programs for the poor, I'm very proud of the fact that in the legislature we are working together, and there's a lot more to come on welfare reform. You all know about the extra dollars for Medicaid. I just read today, front page in the New York Times, about the number of mentally ill who are being confronted by police, and the number of mentally ill, severely mentally ill people who've actually been shot because of the inability of police to distinguish at times from, you know, what the mental illness issue is, particularly when somebody who's mentally ill is carrying a weapon, so the police have no choice. But in our state, we're trying to deal with this problem along with the problem of drug addiction and, of course, this capital bill. Now, Keith Faber said it perfectly, and that is, you would not have thought 3 years ago that we would be standing here with a capital bill. We're $8 billion in the hole. We'd lost 350,000 jobs. Nobody thought, you know, our fiscal situation was dire. The legislature, my colleagues in the legislature came together. We not only got that budget balanced, but we created the surplus, and now we are up almost 250,000 jobs, which is really pretty remarkable. And that put us in a position, and Tim Keene, who's our budget director, Chris Whistler, the deputy budget director, with us today, we look very carefully at what we can do from a financial point of view to help people across the board. This is a pretty significant capital bill, $2.4 billion. Some of it was already described. One thing that was described was the issue of higher ed, where we got these universities to work together. It's fantastic. So they're not all grabbing for the last piece of pizza. They're sharing and deciding which things make the most amount of sense. And for example, Mayor, up at Ohio State now, they're going to have a program where they're going to get involved in big data, which fits with that operation that we have here, that private sector data operation, data analytics operation that we're so proud of having here. And it's true across the state where these folks have shared. No one thought it could happen. It happened. When we build teamwork, we build a stronger Ohio. I went to Keith and to our speaker, and I said to them, both to Batchelder and Faber, why don't we just let the local communities decide what their priorities are? And at the end of the day, the legislature will get a look, because they hear from lots of people, and they have the right to continue to shape these bills. And so what happened was unprecedented. Well, I guess it happened kind of one other time, but it didn't go very well. We got the community development people. You know, Alex Fisher's back here with the partnership. We said to them and to the chambers of commerce across the state, what do you need? What are your priorities? Then we said to the arts community, tell us what you think the greatest art priorities are. And they made the picking. And then that got to the legislature, and I barely put my hands on it because I felt that community people and running this thing from the bottom up is a lot better than my trying to micromanage it all. Then it gets over to the legislature, and they're in touch, and they make changes. But by and large, it really represents the input from community people from the bottom up. And it's fantastic. So we're here today. Mayor, what you're doing, what the Donatos, the Grodies, the Cranes, the Kellys are doing, there is no doubt in my mind you're saving lives. And we're glad to be a partner in terms of saving lives and giving people an opportunity for their future. In this building, you know, the Boys and Girls Club. I went to a Boys Club when I was a kid. I mean, I just loved going to the Boys Club. I think I learned to shoot pool there, Mayor. We'll have to test that out. But there'll be a gym here, and they'll play basketball. And then there's healthcare down the road. And then there's the one-stops where we can train people for jobs that exist. We're changing that as well. Don't train somebody for something that doesn't exist. Train them for something that does exist so they can get a job and get a start and get a credential and be able to move up. We're looking at early childhood, making sure that our early childhood programs really work. And I'm thrilled that you're going to have a platinum child care center, right? Is it going to be in the building?
Yes, they're extensive.
Okay, and, you know, it's a platinum. It means that the kids are getting the best care. I mean, all these things are so fantastic because it's giving people a chance to have a great life. And sort of back to what I was saying, the issue of poverty, the issue of opportunity, the issue of hope is not in one political party. We got to get that out of our minds. The mayor and I work together on many projects, whether it's job creation, whether it's education, whether it's helping the poor. I am thrilled to have this kind of a relationship with him. Thrilled to have a relationship I have with the mayor of Cleveland. Thrilled with the relationship we're building now with the new mayor of Cincinnati. This is the way it should work. And for my colleagues in the legislature, they're doing fantastic. I mean, they're just doing fantastic. And when you think about the decisions that have been made over the last few years, it not only represents a strong financial side and job creation, but there's an awful lot of heart and an awful lot of compassion in this, and an awful lot of giving people a chance to have the kind of life that many of us who are in here have. So this is it's a great day. And when I think about everything going on across the state, the $2.4 billion, I mean, there's so much good. You know, one of the things that we're funding is Nancy's Place. It's $500,000 for a battered women's shelter. Thank God, you know, where poverty sometimes comes this problem of abuse. We're not fixing it, but we're helping. These things are so important to us, and so I want to thanks for the process and where we came out. Michael, thanks for the fact that this was Republicans and Democrats together. Mayor, you rock the Casbah, and I think we ought to sign this bill, and thanks for your money. $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Does that mean I got to get a little extra sausage with the pepperoni on the pizza? Okay. And then where's the Kellys? Where's Don Kelly? Are they here? Okay. And of course, Tanny, she's down in Florida for a family meeting down there. They're all involved in that. You know, the last thing I would suggest, Mayor, down in Cincinnati at the Cincinnati Collaborative, and maybe we could make this center, this Reed School, a hub so that when businesses want to get into the schools and help and mentor, maybe this could be a referral place. And here's what happens in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Public Schools has a graduation rate, I think, of about 65%. Ben, is that right? It's about 65%. They lose 35% of the kids don't graduate. Now, they have a school there that I visited just not long ago, and they have the Cincinnati Collaborative. It's been around for a long time, and this is a hub organization that directs employees of Western and Southern and GE and Procter & Gamble to this school. If you mentor a kid 1 hour a week, not a half an hour, not 1 hour every 2 weeks, but 1 hour a week for a year, not for 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, for a year, you will change a life. And what happens is the employees from these companies go into the school and they talk to them about, you know, their future and their passions and get, you know, what to do with their lives. the graduation rate in that school, one of the Cincinnati public schools, is 96%. Now, I believe that mentoring and taking our communities back and putting our hearts and souls into our children will work, and it's proven that it can work. And maybe the Reed School here could study the Cincinnati Collaborative, because we want to duplicate this. And you know what? If you do it, and you involve parents, and you involve the schools, or the guardians, whoever they may be, and you involve the faith-based, and you know what? We might have a little extra money for you. If you're willing to take a look at that, we might have a little bit more money. Because if you can create that, we'll give you a 3-for-1 match. There'll be a limit to how much we can provide, but this is a big one of our